Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is Monday Night Live with Gretchen Heidel. Whether you're watching this live tonight on Facebook with me or in the pre-recorded playback or on YouTube. I am growing my YouTube channel at Gretchen Heidel. As far as I know, I'm the only Gretchen Heidel online on the internet, and that's, I guess, helpful. Helpful to find me. So welcome everybody who is joining me live tonight on Facebook, and it is Monday night on May 18th, and we are talking about new moons, eclipses tonight. We have eclipse season coming up, and I should have mentioned that in the notes, but we have a lot to talk about with eclipse season, and we have retrogrades. We're in the retrogrades now, where we hit retrograde season, boom, like hardcore hit it. So welcome everybody who's joining. If you are just joining me live tonight, go ahead and post your astrological sign, and I love to hear from all y'all. And where are you from? I like hearing that as well. I have people that I do sessions for all around the world, and that's kind of a fun thing too. As long as you can speak English, I can do a session for you. So, because unfortunately I'm not bilingual or know another language, but I wish I did. Speaking of languages, Gemini, okay, this new moon's going to be in Gemini on Friday. We're coming up to that, but first I'd love to hear how everybody's doing with all this retrograde stuff. Oh my gosh, so we had 3 major planets go retrograde last week. 3, and then really 4, because this Sunday we had Pallas Athena go retrograde. She's an asteroid. And so it was a lot of topsy-turviness in this last week. So how did you all do? Sherry Libra from Richmond, Vermont, welcome. Love to hear. Libra, air sign. We're going to be talking a lot about air signs tonight. Corbin, hello. Scorpio, Georgia, welcome. And so everybody that's watching, go ahead and like and share, because that helps the good word to be spread. So yeah, we had, let's see, so last week we had Saturn go retrograde. Then we had Venus go retrograde, and I want to talk more about Venus retrograde because that's kind of included with this new moon that we have. Venus is retrograde in Gemini. The new moon is coming in Gemini, so we got a lot of Gemini energy going on. Jacqueline, Aquarius, my relationship is literally so stressful. Yes, it has been very stressful. Gretchen was right. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. Sheila, always a delight, surprised to pick up the phone and be alerted that we're live tonight. Yes, Capricorn, Tara. Hey, welcome, Tara. Still Leo. Yeah, these things don't change, do they? Well, the natal birth chart never changes, but all of the planets that are currently in the sky, currently rotating and whatever, are always changing and shifting, and that's where we get into predictive astrology. I always say that's where the planets get into some shenanigans in the chart, because as those planets hit and rotate and they hit some of the planets, the natal planets, that's where we get, activation, and that's where life stuff happens, basically. That's what's going on. So what's going on in your area of Gemini, because that's what we're going to be talking a lot about tonight. So Venus is retrograde in Gemini. Then we had Jupiter go retrograde in Capricorn on Thursday last week. And then over the weekend, we had Pallas Athena go retrograde, and she is in Aquarius. So, oh my goodness, 4, okay, planetary bodies, we'll say, because Pallas Athena is technically an asteroid. But she's powerful. I mean, she's the goddess of the strategy of war. So you know how like Mars is the god of war, and that was just yesterday, by the way, on Sunday the 17th that she went retrograde. So she's the strategy of war. So she's the master chess player. Okay, Marika, hey, Marika, how you doing? Taurus, Gemini husband. Yes, I remember that. You guys are neighbors. Gemini and Taurus are neighbors as far as spouses. Micaiah, hey, how are you? Pisces sun, Gemini moon. Okay, so this is your new moon, Micaiah, on Friday, as Aries ascendant. Hello, happy Monday, Amy. Good to see you. And so welcome everybody that's joining. So yeah, we had those 4 planets. Now, what we are in, and this is really, really important, what we are technically in is what I call the love detox, okay, with Venus and Gemini being retrograde is the love detox. And we just started that process, and that's going to be going on until next month on June 25th. So we're in the love detox right now, meaning that when retrogrades happen, I don't know if anybody's ever had a stress test with their heart. So, you go on the treadmill and you walk really fast, and then they stress your heart to see, if it pumps properly. That's kind of what, if you can think about a retrograde, that's kind of what a retrograde does. It stresses whatever these areas are, and all the planets are different areas of your life. Then you're able to know like what needs fixing, what needs work. It's almost like when you have a hole in your tire and then they put it in water and then they see where the water bubbles are and then they can plug the hole. That's kind of what a retrograde is sort of about. Now everybody looks at it and goes, it's problems and it's horrible and it's obstacles and it's these things and that thing and it's awful. And we all kind of, because we don't like it when things kind of go bad sometimes, right? However, don't you want to know where the hole is in your tire before you go on a long distance trip, let's say, and then all of a sudden, you have a flat tire? So of course you want to know where there's holes or bubbles or, areas of weakness, we'll just say. And so that's what basically the deal is. Tara said, retrogrades are kicking my butt. Very challenging. Terry, hey Terry, Scorpio, Virgo rising, Gemini moon. We have 2 Gemini moon people. Wow. Okay. Oh, Olivia, Gemini moon also. Wow, you guys are all going to be getting this new moon energy in Gemini. That's really amazing. Pisces, Lori, welcome. Pisces, Virgo rising isn't a very good sign. Makes me wish. Oh, that was a Kenny Loggins song. Yeah. Oh, hey mom, how you doing? My mom's online, so welcome everybody. So if you're just joining, I love you're all sharing tonight. Welcome, and make sure that you like and share, because that is how this good word gets spread. And you guys can see my crazy overgrown. I can't even sit back because this thing is like taking over my space. I can't wait to put it outside. I've had this, we should talk about the geranium for 1 second. I've had this geranium for over 10 years and I keep bringing it inside in the winter, and this is what it does. Very early springtime, it actually blossoms and flowers. But I like how it looks behind me, but it's really it's huge. This thing in real life is huge. Okay, Olivia, Venus was retrograde when you were born. Okay, that's a thing. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. Carolina, Aries. Okay, so Venus retrograde is the love detox. And so when Venus is going retrograde, and all planets for that matter, when they go retrograde, we say that they're not kind of functioning fully, or they're not like, going, full steam ahead, because sometimes we have to go back and reevaluate, reassess, or relook at something. And Venus is all up in our relationships right now. Venus retrograde rules over love and finances, and that's considered to be a personal planet. Like, in other words, it's closest to the Earth versus Pluto or Saturn or one of these outer planets. Venus retrograde is like a powerful one, like a Mercury retrograde. So Venus retrograde is all up in our love lives. So now we're going to see, does it pass the stress test, and does our relationship or are we single and we really want to, partner, or are we breaking up with somebody? And I will tell you that definitely, people are calling me nonstop right now about relationship things, problems. Should I break up? Should I go out with this person? Now, Gemini is an interesting sign because it's an air sign, and it often indicates 2. So sometimes you could even have a choice of 2 people. 2 options sometimes is a thing. And sometimes with an air signs tend to be a little more detached than some other signs. So sometimes it's just like, I don't even want a relationship right now. I'm busy having fun and doing me and being flirtatious and whatever. So there's that. So, oh, thanks mom. She said that I'm very talented. Thank you. So yes, welcome everybody who's joining. Marianne, oh yes, Aries, Pisces, and I got your text, Marianne. I promise you I'm gonna be texting you back. And Tara said, love detox, so true. Your ex that you've been friends with told you had no space in your life for you. Oh no, because you started seeing somebody new. Dang it. Okay, well, you know what? If they're meant to go during the love detox, they will. And by the way, on the news, we're going to start seeing a whole bunch of like stars breaking up. You know, that'll be like next. That's coming, just to let you know. So that is a thing. Okay, this Venus retrograde. And then we have the new moon in Gemini coming. And so what's going to happen is the new moon in Gemini is going to be on Friday, and that's going to be 1:39 p.m. and it's going to be 2 degrees Gemini, because what's happening is on Wednesday, the sun's moving into Gemini, so we are going to be having Gemini, the official start of Gemini season, and then bam, immediately having a new moon. And that actually happened last month too. So we're having like these really early new moons. So it's going to be 2 degrees Gemini. So for those of you that are born right in the beginning of Gemini, you'll be feeling this hardcore. I don't know if you guys know where your moon is in reference to the degrees, but it's right in the very beginning of Gemini. But it doesn't matter. If you're a Gemini, you will feel this. If you are another air sign, you will feel this. Libra and Aquarius are the other air signs. You'll feel this. If you are a mutable sign, you will feel this. And the mutables are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and then Pisces. Okay, so if you're any of those signs, you'll feel mutable energy will get activated. Mutable is go with the flow. Okay, like my flower there. It's go with the flow and bending. I always say, think of a mutable like a palm tree in a hurricane. Whoosh, okay, and it goes. But sometimes mutables have trouble like standing up for what they believe in. You know, they can sometimes have a little bit of problem with that. Fixed signs are a little bit better at that, but then sometimes fixed needs to basically be more bendy and more flexible. So Gemini energy sometimes can be overly flexible, and so, or especially since Geminis tend to change their mind a lot. Okay, it's the twins, so I like chocolate, no vanilla. How about chocolate? How about vanilla? You know, and so that Gemini energy tends to be a little bit scattered sometimes, okay? And it can be a little bit chatty. I mean, it's definitely chatty. It's flirty. Sometimes it's a little too much flirty and too much chatty. Sometimes Geminis kind of talk a lot, but not, you know, like with this big like scorpionic, you know, depth. It's more about like, did you see this and did you hear this? And you know, it's like a little gossipy sometimes with Gemini. And so that's sort of the fun part of Gemini. Gemini is one of the more curious signs. Like I love my Gemini friends, because they're really lively, very curious. They always want to know about different things, but then they kind of are like, how about Spain, and how about politics, and how about this and that, you know? I'm like, whoa, like that is a lot. You know, I don't have any Gemini except for I have one asteroid in my chart, Juno, which is who you're, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Juno is your ideal marriage partner. So that would be interesting for you guys to find out. I like the asteroids. So, but anyway, this Gemini energy is very lively. So can be nervous. Okay. The problem with Gemini, I always feel like it's like the air signs are kind of like feathers, you know, like, and the problem with that is that sometimes all this energy is so scattered and it's so fast that it's like not a grounded, this is not a grounded new moon. Okay, that's not this new moon. This new moon is very lively, and on the same day as the new moon, on Friday, I'm going to keep talking about this Friday day because it's a big day, and we'll feel it going into it. You know, we'll start to feel it, you know, possibly even starting on Wednesday when the sun goes into Gemini, and that's on Wednesday at 9:49 a.m. Eastern time. And then all the way on Friday, we get the new moon at 1:39 p.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that if you're out on the West Coast, okay, 3 hours earlier. Mercury is going to be conjunct Venus retrograde on Friday. So we got Mercury, thinking, talking, communicating in Gemini, conjunct Venus retrograde in Gemini, new moon in Gemini, and then Mercury is going to form a square with Neptune. Mercury's in Gemini and Neptune's in Pisces. So, oh my gosh, there's the mutable signs, right? The Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius also will feel this. So will Virgos. So this is a lot of Gemini energy, and the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. So, oh my goodness. So this is an extra super duper duper Gemini. It might be hard to sleep. We might be feeling very fidgety, very feeling ungrounded. And here's the symptoms of being ungrounded. A lot of people go, what is grounding? What is that even? And what are how would I even know if I'm grounded or not grounded? Well, I'll tell you. Feeling ungrounded, oftentimes it's a lack of focus. If you're ungrounded, you can't, it's hard to like, where am I? What am I doing? Oh my God, lack of focus. It can literally feel like you're walking without your feet even touching the ground. Like, it's just like you're kind of floating around like, oh my God, what am I doing? And that floaty kind of feeling. And often people get very clumsy. They'll drop things. I will be honest with you guys. Last week in the retrogrades, I dropped every single thing. I dropped a 15-pound bag of dog food on the floor on Thursday when Jupiter went retrograde, and it went whoosh everywhere. Now, my dog was super excited. He was like, oh my gosh, this is like New Year's and Thanksgiving and everything all in one day. He like chomped in, and I was like, no. But that's being ungrounded. And then I dropped a palette of eyeshadow, and it smashed everywhere on the bathroom floor. It was $65 palette of eyeshadow, went everywhere. Oh my gosh. So, needless to say, I was a little ungrounded last week, and that's what happens, and I kept having to come back in and get my grounding again, because those retrogrades, it's like, I always tell people, it's like a car. You don't just flip a switch, retrograde on, off, it's not like that. It's the car has to slow down, stop, then go in reverse very slowly. So basically last week, all those planets, those 4 planetary bodies I was talking about, were stopped, just sitting there. And now they're just kind of starting to switch. So we were like, like all over the place with all these different planets. And I don't know about you guys, but there was a symptom of being ungrounded. Dropping things and forgetting things is another symptom of being ungrounded and feeling ungrounded. So how do you get grounded again? Oh my goodness. So there's several ways. One of the especially with this beautiful, wonderful weather we're having, I don't know where you guys are calling in from or signing in from, but in Vermont, it's been really beautiful. Hey, Darlene. Oh, thank you. Love your posts and live reports. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So speaking of Darlene, right? She's a beautiful Taurus, by the way. She has the most wonderful gardens. And that's what I was just about to say, is going outside and doing something called earthing, where you can connect and touch your feet to the ground barefoot, going outside and earthing in your lawn, grass, sandy beach, whatever, wherever you are. It's a little hard to do if you're in downtown Manhattan, obviously, with a concrete, but earthing, okay, getting into the ground and feeling connected to the earth. Now, if you have a greenhouse, I don't know if the greenhouses are open yet, but going to a greenhouse and looking at plants and and I will say out loud, okay, my neighbors probably think I'm a little crazy, but I actually will sometimes hug a tree. I've been known to do that, get that nice feeling of grounding. We have to like kind of connect back into our body. Doing some very deep breath work is another good grounding thing, where we can get into our, just taking a minute, connecting in. And connecting all the way down to our feet, getting really, that's the grounding piece of it. This is going to be the hardest challenge of this Gemini/Friday energy, is going to be the grounding aspect of this Gemini stuff, because Gemini can be very largely ungrounded. It's a very cerebral sign, which means we get in our heads, we think of all these wonderful ideas and all this good stuff, and oh my God, what am I having for dinner, and who's going to call in? Da, 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 da. It's a little much. So definitely getting grounded. Oh, hey, Harold. Yes, New York City, tree hugger and breather. Love that. Virgo. Love Harold the Virgo, he calls himself. I love that. And so having that deep grounded energy and connecting to the earth, I mean, it's easier when the moon and the sun are in a grounded, like a Taurus or a Capricorn earth sign, versus this Gemini sign. Gemini is information and ideas and travel. Information, ideas, and travel. In other words, it's on the go. the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. Mercury was the winged messenger. He was the dude in the chariot with the Pegasus. And so, it was always on the go, on the move, right? And so it's great if you're a writer. It's great if you're a speaker and orating or in sales, if you have to really persuade somebody, or a politician. You got to really persuade people and get them on your side, or teach a topic or a subject. That's a wonderful thing to do. Okay, and all that Gemini energy is definitely, feeling good. Lauren also said, hugging some trees. Hey, you can feel their energy. I love, and she's a Virgo too. That's interesting. Hey, Skittles, welcome. I'm so glad you're joining us. Maria, Cancer. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is in air, okay, mutable. And it's very lively sign in Gemini. But what if you're not an air, or you're not immutable? Well, you're gonna be feeling this, but it's a little bit more different. It's a little bit more contentious. So Cancer is a water sign, okay? And so what happens if you combine water and air? Hurricane, typhoon, okay? So you might not feel as good as some of the other signs. Like the other signs are going to feel what we call extra. It's going to be extra energy, okay? And all new moons are mostly very, very good. They're not negative, but this one's going to be real lively. Almost maybe even might feel a little bit like a full moon because it's so lively. It's going to be massive downloads of energy. Now, last night, I was going to talk about I had a visitation dream last night. I wanted to kind of share with you guys with a deceased person that I knew many years ago, back in the days when I used to work in real estate. And this person used to assist me with closings and things like that. And she was a wonderful woman. And she came to visit me last night in a dream. And so sometimes this will happen around moon kind of portal cycles where you'll start to get visitation dreams. And a visitation dream, an official visitation dream, is where a deceased loved one, even a pet, a deceased pet, can come and visit you while you are sleeping. And so that's a wonderful thing. And if you've ever had a visitation dream, I'd love to see you post below, because that's a really special, wonderful event when a deceased relative, loved one, friend, whoever, spouse comes and visits us. But it's a great honor, I feel. And around portal cycles, which is definitely a new moon, full moon, we can get those downloads and lots of, I call them downloads, where we have lots of information. If you're a musician, a songwriter, if you write poetry, all this kind of stuff is going to happen and become open more during this Gemini sun, which is Gemini season. We're calling those seasons now. Gemini season is a whole month long, and then we'll be getting the new moon in Gemini on Friday. Now, especially with Mercury and Venus being activated on that day, and Mercury and Neptune being active on that day, we're talking about love. We're talking about unrealistic, potentially, expectations in love. Okay, Neptune is cloudy, foggy, fuzzy sometimes, and then maybe even a lack of clarity with our communication on that day because of Neptune. If Neptune wasn't there, it would be like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing day. But Neptune's in there, so we always have to watch with Neptune's presence, because Neptune can be a little foggy, fuzzy. Our nickname for Neptune is Nebulous Neptune. So it's foggy, fuzzy, and cloudy, and sometimes not clear. So we want to make sure that we're clear, especially with love. Our love, we're going through love detox right now. Okay, and so we are just clearing out what's not working. If you are in a love relationship right now and it's not working for you, these are times where we make these decisions. And if it's working and it's an amazing thing, then go ahead and deepen that commitment and deepen that. But this is all about learning more about your relationship. Or if you're single, it's learning about yourself. And how about self-love? How about that? Let's go into self-love. Self-love is an amazing thing, and it's awesome. Marilee, oh, your dad came a few nights ago in a dream. He used to visit all the time. You haven't seen him in a couple years. Oh, that's so wonderful. Yeah, I haven't seen this woman She has come to me a couple times. We had a real fondness for each other. She was like a tough grandma kind of lady, and she just would crack me up. And we had a real fondness for each other, myself and this lady. And she was helping me in the dream, and I was helping her. But it was an amazing night that I got to spend and see her, because I haven't seen her in many years. As far as having a visitation dream, so we're talking about visitation dreams, where a deceased loved one's spirit. Somebody comes in a dream and helps, just says hi or helps give you guidance. Sometimes in visitation dreams, they don't talk, but you'll know why they're there. You'll know what they want. It's almost like a telepathy. And also, you'll feel hungover. I call it being hungover from the dream. All day long, you'll feel that dream. And it's really like present. It's really solid and present in our energy. So that's an exciting thing. Yes. So, Sally, we're going to be writing our new moon manifestationist. Hi, Sally. Welcome. And if you're just joining, like and share, and post below what your astrological sign is. Go ahead and say hi. I love that. So I want to give you guys, we're going to talk about new moon manifestation list and some stones, okay? Because this is a tricky new moon. On one hand, it's a really fun new moon, and it's lively, and it's all this ideas and thoughts and information and all this stuff. And information is going to be kind of crazy on Friday. I'll just tell you that. With maybe the news will be kind of out there. We'll just say. So Gemini is great one for Gemini is a stone called fluorite, and I happen to have this really cool piece of fluorite here. And fluorite is said to absorb the EFTs from computers, from electromagnetic things, whatever. So fluorite is an amazing stone. I have a fluorite like that I sit right in front of my computer, but also I have a fluorite next to my bed at night too. So this is actually, I keep this typically on my nightstand at night. And fluorite definitely, I don't know if you can see, it's like two worlds and two colors, and fluorite's multi-dimensional. And if you talk about Gemini, geez, multi-dimensional. So if you guys want to be able to handle this multi-dimensional, multifaceted, dualistic signs energy a little bit better, fluorite is your stone. So if you guys have any fluorite at home, that's good. Agate is another one. I believe this is a Christmas agate. It might be a moss agate. I'm not sure. I have a couple different agates, but agate, again, look at those multi-dimensional. And this one's quite grounding because it's like a dark green and a white color. So if you think about these are some green stones. These also, the color green goes for the heart chakra. Now, with Gemini, we're definitely talking about throat, okay? Because think about it, it's writing, communicating, talking. One thing that I haven't said tonight, and I really need to say, is that, hey, how about listening? Everybody's going to be talking a lot on Friday, okay? And possibly Wednesday and possibly Thursday, okay? As we go from the sun in Gemini all the way to the different ones, so to the new moon in Gemini. So we have a lot of Gemini about to be activated, and a lot of people are talking, and a lot of people are activated and all this stuff, and they want to communicate and they want to flirt and all these things. So I am showing two stones that are some of my favorite for the throat chakra. Throat chakra is blue color, okay? And this one is a blue kyanite. And this one is said to instantly ground, okay, all of the chakras, instantly balance and ground the chakras, okay, and for sure, great for the throat. Now, if any of you males or even females, whatever, whichever, it doesn't matter. If you guys even have a piece of turquoise that you could wear on your throat chakra, that's very helpful. This isn't turquoise, but I'm just showing you as an example. Hi, Nitty. Welcome. Lindsay, where do I get my stones? I have collected my stones over many, many years. And sage, she wants to know about sage. Do I get it from a special place? Well, I do have sage that I get from Spirit Dancer, which is in Burlington, Vermont, downtown. It's a metaphysical shop, and you want to make sure that you have a medicinal garden. So white sage is the typical one that is used for clearing. Okay, so white sage is what you want to use. Teresa, oh, Gemini moon. Wow, we have like 6 people on here with Gemini moon. That's crazy. Jill, hey, welcome. Nitty Leo. And the other piece that I wanted to talk about, now this one is a dyed blue stone, okay, but this is my absolute favorite stone for Gemini, and also for anybody who needs help grounding, okay, and this is called Howlite. Now, I got this knowing that it was dyed blue, and by the way, just so you guys know, when jewelry is sold as like fake turquoise, it's often dyed blue howlite. That's, you know, sometimes people try to pass it off as real turquoise stone, but it is not turquoise. And in fact, howlite naturally, which I have a piece around here, I couldn't find it before the broadcast started, but natural howlite is white, and it kind of looks like marble. It's all white, and then it has the black, darker veins going through it. And howlite, oh my gosh, when I need this stone, when I need to get grounded, like when I was telling you guys I was dropping things last week, howlite is a real grounding, beautiful, it kind of pulls in all of that scatteredness and kind of brings things in, and it gives you that good solid clarity. So howlite, if you guys know a Gemini in your life and you want to help them get grounded, or if you yourself has a strong Gemini in your chart and you need some grounding, howlite is your stone. Howlite is howlite. So it's a beautiful stone. I love this piece. I think it was like $15. It wasn't really that expensive. It's not a well-known stone, and like I said, it looks like marble. I happen to like the undyed, the natural howlite. It's just that I found this fun piece, and it was so big and chunky, and I could, you know, really hold on to it, and I like that. But if you can find it undyed, I think it's quite beautiful just as it is. It looks like marble. It's gorgeous. So anyway, that's that nice grounding energy. And of course, when you ground, you can talk about all the dark stones. Dark stones are always just great to just have in your collection and in your life. I happen to like, but all of that nature stuff, the plants, the grass, soil, gardening, getting outside, getting your feet into the ground, sitting under a tree, all those great things are going to be really important this in the end of this week, especially for that grounding energy, because Gemini energy can be really, really like, wow. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, I am going to be doing a few cards. I always pick 1 or 2 people to do a question, and it seems like the same people ask the questions. So if anybody wants to go out there, I go with who Spirit guides me to go and to answer those questions, just to let you know. And also, I like to pull 1 collective card for what you guys need to know going into this wonderful new moon thing. So now we want to make sure that we write our new moon manifestation list. So remember, in the full moon, we're writing 2 lists. Some people got confused about this. So we're writing a small list of things we want to release on the full moon, and we're writing a big, chunky, beautiful list on the new moon, and that's called your new moon manifestation list. Okay. And so that is a fun thing to do. I want you to write out your new moon manifestation list, and that is going to be on this Friday. I mean, as close as you can to getting, I'd say at least within 12 hours. Okay, so either before or after. No, honey, it's Friday on the 22nd. The new moon manifestation list is when we are going to be writing our list, and that's going to be 1:39 p.m., okay, roughly around that time. Either in the morning or at night, whichever, okay? And so the new moon manifestation list is all about the new moon. What do you want to, what seeds do you want to plant? So according to the Farmer's Almanac, that is when you plant new seeds. And that's what we're doing metaphorically, okay? Metaphysically is we are planting new seeds for our lives. And you want to, how I start my new moon, everybody asks me how I start my new moon, is I start by thanking the universe, Buddha, whoever you pray to, angels, spirit guides, whatever, it doesn't matter, the fairies, whoever it is, and thank them for helping you with your life and with everything that's going on. Or even what I like to do is I like to thank them for what they brought to me from the last new moon manifestation list, because they bring a lot of good, goodies to my table. So I have a lot to thank them for. So I thank them. I write a little, hey, thank you for helping me with this, and this, and this. And I start each line, okay, and I will sometimes write pages of, because you want to have this be rich, beautiful, thick, and chunky, and make it as real as possible, whatever you want to manifest. So thank you so much, spirit guides, guardian angels, for bringing me all of the abundance and the, or love, or whatever you want, good health, any kind of thing that you want to manifest, bring a baby, sometimes people want to manifest babies and children, if they're having fertility issues or whatever the thing might be, you want to put that on your list. I don't know why I got that, but somebody on here might be trying to conceive. So anyway, that is the thing. So let's see. Oh my gosh, now I have a lot of questions here. Okay, I'm just going through. Oh, Teresa, I love that question. Yes, Marilee, good night. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and tune in tomorrow on the replay, because I post these on the replay. All right, so let's see. Teresa said, what does she need more in her life? Okay. And then you're going to take that new moon manifestation list and you're going to put it under your pillow. I read it again. I reread it and I put it under my pillow for 2 weeks, and you're going to burn it or destroy it. I like burning lists on the full moon. Now, what do we do with that list that we just made on the full moon of things we want to release? The night before the new moon, you're going to go out and you're going to burn that moon and say, I release, I release, I release, I release, burning it. Okay? And that's the night before the new moon. So we're having 2 lists, what we want to release and what we want to manifest. Look, if you can't do all this and that's too much for you, stick with the manifestation, okay? Stick with Friday's list, the new moon manifestation. But if you want to work, I think sometimes it really does help to know what you want to release. What do you want to get rid of? Maybe it's, debt. Maybe it's a toxic relationship. It's always good to know that. So that's the full moon list. And we're going to burn or destroy that list the night before. So the evening of Thursday, go ahead and write it on your calendar. You're going to burn that list. And you're just going to read it one time, quick. I release, I release, I release, I release, done, and then burn it, okay? Or shred it. You can put it through the shredder, okay, if that's safer for you and if you don't have a thing, way of burning it. All right, so Teresa, what can I invite more into my life? What does Teresa need to know about what she needs more of in her life right now? What will help her to know what she needs? Please be clear. Okay, oh, Teresa. I'm going to ask one more question about that card. What does she need to know about this? What is very important? Yeah, it's funny, I was just about to say what the next card is. So, Teresa, you got to be honest with yourself, girl. Okay, that is the card. Be honest with yourself. And these are the fairy cards. I picked the fairy cards tonight because I thought of Gemini energy and that fun kind of airy fairy kind of energy that Gemini can bring. I brought the fairy cards. Be honest with yourself. And what I was just about to say is I think what this is it's really pushing you to trust your own intuition. And then look at the next card I got. Okay, trust your intuition. So Teresa, it's interesting. I'm feeling like you're really developing and opening up your intuition. And I think that, there is something that maybe might not be kind of fun to face right now, but that if you look at it just objectively, Aaron said, who you call him, Harry Fairy. That's that Gemini energy. You missed the first part of the broadcast. I was saying all kinds of wonderful things about Gemini. So Teresa, I feel like you basically are opening up to your own intuition, and definitely, by the way, where did I have it? Sodalite is a wonderful stone for intuition, and that is your third eye chakra right here, and that's opening up to your intuition if you want to open up your your third eye. So Teresa, I'm getting that you need to be honest with yourself, and that you also need to kind of face a situation you might not want to face. However, I actually feel like if you kind of face it head on and just sort of really nonchalantly talk about it, like in a non kind of way, it's going to work out. I just literally feel like it's just going to work out. I don't know why, but I feel like it's going to shift or change or work in your favor, like somehow, but it's like, I almost feel like in some way you might not be thinking it'll work, but it actually feels like it will work. I don't know why, but I feel like this is pertaining to career, work, job, or some kind of a thing, but separately from that, or maybe altogether from that, this intuition piece is I feel like you're really growing and shifting into your intuitive self. So being honest with yourself and the intuition. The biggest thing when I've taught classes about intuition is trusting yourself. That's the biggest thing, because most people, we get that immediate hit and then we go, oh, it couldn't be that. Or, oh, I don't know. You know, people say, I hear all the time people say, it's the hardest thing to do a reading for yourself. It really isn't if you just listen to the first message you got. The first message, boom, is usually the message, and then we overthink it, overanalyze it, you know, try to make it into more of whatever we think, and maybe you know, and then that's when the message gets ruined. But the first message is the strong, big, powerful, like, thing. That's usually what you go with. Okay. I always say intuition actually, at least for me, I'm a fire sign, but for a lot of people, it's quite fast. It's not like I have to overthink and overthink and overthink. That's coming from the mind. In fact, it's better to kind of slightly zone out a little bit or slightly get into a meditative state when you're wanting to get a good, clear answer. And it's usually boop, comes right in, and then we ruin it because we overthink it. So intuition's very usually like solid. Okay. All right. And so you guys are so funny. Mary Ann said, should I continue on my path or make a change? I'm going to pull a card for Mary Ann. Okay. Should she continue or should she make a change? Holy wow. Okay. All right. Marianne, I'm going to pull another card for you. What does she need to know about that as well? This is interesting. You guys are getting very, yeah, it's interesting. It's Marianne, I keep seeing you like out in the woods. I'm seeing a visual of you out in the woods and you're walking and there's two paths. And it almost feels like you kind of know which way you want to go, but each one looks sort of interesting in some way, shape, or form. It's like one path you already know, you've been on this path before, it's like a well-worn path, and then there's this other path. And I feel like you're very torn between, I really keep getting that it's like two paths, and it really takes you in two completely different directions. Funny thing, guess what? You got, be honest with yourself. And you also got environmental awareness, which one of the paths may or may not be pertaining to, it's funny, I see you in the woods, but it might be pertaining to, by the way, if you see a lot of hawks, it means that you are literally receiving messages from your spirit guides, your guardian angels, or that you're getting like that bird's eye view. And the hawks, you know, they have really, really powerful eyesight, and you're being able to see. But this could have something to do, environmental awareness literally can sometimes be like gardening, landscaping, working outside, working with your hands, doing something environmental. But often it means that if you're in the woods or you're getting grounded, it's kind of funny. It's like repeating the messages I'm already giving you guys, that you'll be able to do this. I feel like you have to move forward fearlessly is the card you're getting. Okay, look at, she's in the woods again. And not all of my fairies are in the woods. Some of them are, but she's in the woods again. She's moving forward fearlessly. I actually feel like you have two good, viable options. One feels a little bit it has like a monetary feeling around it. There could be an option where one has more maybe money or something than the other one, but I think, Marianne, that you are getting that good guidance. I can't believe how true this is. Awesome. That's amazing. So watch for those hawks, because I feel like the hawks are kind of helping you to see. And you guys, I've done previous broadcasts about spirit animals, and I've talked to you guys about that before. So I hope that helps. Okay, so I am getting ready to sign off here. If you guys have any other questions for me, if you'd like to schedule a private personal consultation with me, GretchenHeidel.com is my website. Also, I am doing personal sessions through Zoom, FaceTime, Facebook Messenger Live, or just good old-fashioned telephone. Yes, I can do readings absolutely over the phone. You don't need to do a video chat even, because I'm getting my information from non-physical sources, so I don't need to see you, but if you'd like to see me, that's great too, and we can do a session that way. And I do a lot of different things in my sessions. We can talk about all kinds of stuff, spirit guides, dreams, guardian angels, deceased loved ones, health, career, and love, by the way, are the top two. Top is love, and career is second, of questions that people ask me about. But sometimes they ask me about their pets, and sometimes they ask me about all different kinds of things. So I'm going to pull one card for a collective card for what does everybody need to know about this new moon, and a further message from the higher ups that help us with this evening. What does everybody need to know about this new moon and the week energy coming up this week of May 18th? And by the way, if you guys haven't done it, go over to YouTube, because I'm going to be loading these onto YouTube and also recording additional content because I'm loving, I want to really, that was my goal for 2020, is recording is starting my YouTube channel. Oh, and the other thing is we do have three eclipses coming. So on June 5th, we have a full moon coming in Sagittarius, and they're all going to be big eclipses, okay? And then June 21st, new moon in Cancer, and then July 5th, full moon in Capricorn. And all of those dates, the next 3 moons are going to be eclipses, and now we're getting into eclipse season. So stay tuned. I'm going to be talking a lot more about eclipse season coming up, but eclipses are literally a reboot. Okay, so this is going to be intense. These reboots are going to be intense. We've had a lot of intense energy in 2020, and that's just how it's going to be. All year is intense energy, except for we're going to get a little lull in the middle of summer there, but not very long. It's only going to be like a month, and then we'll be back into the muck again. So we have eclipse season coming up, and it's a time to reboot and recharge your life. And you got to join me next Monday night, 8:50 p.m. Roughly Eastern time. I'm trying to get on and do these Facebook lives. So what does everybody need to know tonight, this week, going into this wonderful new week? And what does everybody need to know on a collective basis? Oh my gosh. You guys, I swear to God, look, I swear, it's all different cards. Everybody out there needs to learn how to trust their intuition, their spirit guides. Look, she's got a full moon behind her right here. But trusting your intuition, that's really the big thing. And we were talking about that a lot tonight. Doesn't surprise me that I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of these cards that I pull, it just mirrors what I've already been channeling while I've been talking to you. Sometimes the cards, all they do is really just reiterate or kind of back up what I've already been saying. Trust your intuition. We're going to get a lot of fast downloads with Gemini, so write it down. Okay, you might get a lot of ideas, a lot of like different things, and it comes so fast with Gemini. It can come in, and then we can lose it. So we want to write it down and make sure, even record it on your phone or something, whatever works for you. But trust your intuition, okay, because we're getting a lot of good guidance right now. And the big key here is to trust ourselves, trust our gut, and to pay attention to all those signs, signals, and especially birds right now, because Gemini is definitely air sign, so it definitely can be associated with messengers of spirit, which is birds. Okay? All right, everybody, have a great night. Great full new moon coming. Make sure you write your new moon manifestation list. Keep me posted, and for sure, send me a text message or a private message about scheduling a session. Good night, everybody. Blessings to you all. Namaste.